What's up? Siak Cattle 1. Siak. I can't do it. Say your name's weird. I'm sorry. That's how I read. That's how I read it straight away. Siak Cattle 1. Hello. What's up? As we jump on into today's GO4SC2 monthly final, €600 on the line. Round of 16. First match of the day to the bottom left-hand side from the Africa Freaks is going to be our green Terran player. It will be aLive. And to the upper left, going to be our TvZ player from Dignitas. It is Tefel. Still feels weird to say Dignitas because, well, Dignitas has kind of dropped out of all of the other, all the other Dignitas players are gone now. Tefel's still around, still going strong, still playing in these online cups, which is what he's just so good at, time after time. So yeah, Tefel's still around and still doing well for himself, to be fair. Just playing these online cups doesn't necessarily do super good in terms of a lot of. He doesn't do, he doesn't always qualify for say WCS or anything, but he has some good runs in online cups and he keeps himself going. And still on Dignitas as well, which is of course nice for him. As we just wait to jump on into this first game and wait for some real action to start up. It's going to be a Reaper expansion out of aLive. Nothing really too surprising there. Going to SCV scout as well, just to make sure, just to check what's going on. You'll see that it's a pool first, which means that Tefel will have a couple of lings out fairly early in the game. And with these couple of circlings very early in the game, he's going to be able to come across and, well, delay the C, or attempt to delay the CC a little bit, but not if that Reaper stays home, which is of course the main reason for this SCV scout, to see if that Reaper needs to stay at home in case there's some circlings trying to sneak around and deny. As you see aLive coming in, you see them circlings are sneaking kind of around, but Reaper going to come to the middle, and looks like the Reaper will not quite catch them because they're going to go over to the side. So very smart play by Tefel, just really wanting to get these over to the side of the map and pick off that SCV, delay the command center for a few moments. So really wants to try and get that going for himself, and we'll see if it's going to be possible for him. aLive obviously played in Pro League the other day, came out as the ace against Sue on Overgrowth when playing against SKT1. And, well, it was, considering as Sue, he didn't do too badly for himself. As we see this SCV just running around, the Reaper is going to be coming back home now as well. But again, big delay on this CC build, and so a little bit of a rough start, honestly, for our Terran player. And he's I guess he might lose the SCV actually. He's going to try and turn around. It's going to be very close. Okay, it does go down. Reaper will clean up, but that'll be about it for now. So, yeah. aLive's had a bit of a rough time in Pro League this round, actually. First of all, last week I think he played against Maru, which isn't exactly an easy draw, is it? And then this week he got picked for the ace match and he goes up against Sue. It's not ideal at all, as this Reaper does get pushed away by the Queen at the front. Going to spot the third base, and so far all good. I mean, Tefel just playing a very standard game right now. Just looking to see what's up, looking to see what is happening, and looking to see what is going on at the very start of the game. We were just waiting for anything to really happen. Tefel puts down a roach roaring, but not really aggressively. Just sort of a defensive, defensive like, oh, I'm just going to get a roach roaring just in case I need to defend any kind of attack sometime soon. Make sure I've got roaches up. Something like this incoming tank medevac harassment. A few roaches out for that would go a long way. Although Zerglings with speed also very good for kind of dealing with tank harassment and medevacs. Able to kind of stay under the medevac and just stop that tank from ever dropping. Whereas roaches, I mean, obviously they survive a couple more tank shots, but they can be kited for days with good micro from the Terran player. So as that third base is about to finish up for Tefel, we're going to see the lair is starting for him. And again, just this first medevac about to pop. aLive going to pick up that tank, head across the map and just look to pressure, but he's actually going to pull his Marines across too, and that's something which is very commonly seen here on Lorena. Just attacking early in the game with a tank and some Marines just because he can attack so early, and that makes it so effective and so difficult for the Zerg player to hold on, as this medevac going to unload on the low ground. These Marines just walking straight across, not bothering to clean up creep or anything, just going straight across here to try and just start working away on this natural. You can see Neva Chimp on the way up, that Queen getting very low. Drone or two going down, that Roach going to fall as well. And this is the real kind of scary part about this, when these Zerglings and Roaches just come in like one or two at a time. They just go down so quickly, as we're going to see a Roach pop in. And again, when these Roaches just popping out one at a time, Tefel gets into a lot of trouble, as we actually see these drones taking a lot of damage. Roaches here as well, still alive and kicking, but this tank is doing a great job still. As it will actually go down though, aLive not microing this any longer, he's given up on it. Lifts up one last Marine in the end. A lot of Marines there, or a lot of drones there in the mineral line, just kind of very low on health, but not quite dead just yet. Let's see a few of those drones jumping on into that extractor. And a little bit of a counterattack here. A few roaches coming across, but realistically I think, well, there's another drop over here, which is just going to keep Tefel distracted a little while longer as these units are going to take a little bit of damage. That medevac is very low. He might have to come in with, if he wants to save that tank, he has to go in boosting, and yeah, he'll actually be able to get it just without going to scorpion range, as these drones get a little bit low in the main base too. And overall, aLive doing a lot of damage here at the start of the game. He's killed off, what, 19 drones? Okay, he lost a tank and some Marines, but killing 19 drones at the start of this is crazy. He goes up 7 workers currently, with 3rd CT about to finish. And aLive has crafted himself a beautiful position for the start of game number 1 in this best of 3. And the round of 16 of today's GO4SC2 monthly finals. Bit of a wall coming up over here. Always a little bit of a haphazard wall, it seems, on Arena. People, you know, always seem to struggle just kind of make it look nice. It is a little bit of a weird one to wall off on, to be fair. So 2 tanks going to move out, and well, they can try and clean up some creep spread. They can continue to work their way against roaches and so on. A lot of different possibilities here for aLive, as he will just unload, and he'll just start to work his way through a bunch of this creep as he lifts up one of them tanks, but moves it forwards just to get 1 extra tumor there. And does he get that last one? Yes, he does. So 5 tumors killed, and that's going to be a lot of creep receding here immediately. Tefel losing a lot of his map control to the left-hand side. Through the centre, though, he's still looking strong. Them creep tumors still alive for now, as these drops going to come in towards the main or natural and unload, get a shot off or not. You know, again, he's just looking to try and get some damage done. Even if he doesn't, it's still nice for him just to harass and just keep Tefel guessing, keep Tefel kind of, you know, having to be very aware all of the time here. As these tanks going to drop back down, the Queen's going to be in trouble. The Queen's probably going to die, as everything is back in the natural here for our Zerg players. So, and 2 tanks, getting some good damage done, and 1, oof, not quite. I thought he was about to get the Ravager there at the back, but he just wasn't quite there. Actually ended up taking a lot of splash damage onto both medevacs, so medevacs do fall quite a little bit lower on health. There's this creep continuing to push out from Tefel. And then drop back into the main base. These tanks doing so much, these roaches lifting up. Oops, a little bit of a mistake there, a little bit of a slow lift up. So one of the tanks goes down, and well, this would have been really nice if he hadn't lost that tank, but well, losing the tank makes it sort of okay for Tefel in a way, but I mean, it's still painful taking so much damage throughout. Tefel going to go straight to the infestation pit here as his tech. We're going to see him. It's actually going to be kind of just off of creep. I wonder if that actually bleeds down, because it's like half on, half off. You wouldn't have usually been able to build that there. One of the creep tumors or whatever being taken down, or Overlord stopping the spread creep. Something along those lines has happened to kind of change the creep spread here. So let's see if this starts dying. No, it's going to be okay because it's just connected to creep. I didn't actually know that. If it's just connected to creep like that. Kind of interesting. We see a drop over to the right hand side as you're going to see aLive forcing a cancel on the 4th base of his opponent. So cancel comes down. These roaches are going to try and trade with these well, with these Marines in the medevac. We're going to see 4th base being set up once again. Big push up the left hand side here from aLive. He's coming all the way up this left hand side, and going to look to see what he can get up to here in the next couple of moments. 1 tank unloads, big stem forwards, and we're going to see everything moving forwards here as well. Lots of tanks, and Ravager shots will start to come down. aLive will not pull away just yet. Only one of his tanks actually falls, so maybe an okay sort of choice to not kind of pull away straight away, as the overall engagement is fairly even though aLive is up an armor upgrade. And well, yeah, just going to see a few roaches just moving over to the right hand side a little bit. A couple of Ravagers on the way up as well. There's drop coming in now, hitting this 3rd base. 3 workers already dead, and the roaches will have to come in to deal with that as aLive moves that medevac away. But at the same time, pushing forward, he finds himself a Ravager out on its own, and always has them tanks back there just to support him. There's another Ravager going down. Those are expensive losses for Tefel. I mean, it's 100 gas every time he loses one of these. At the same time, double drop going into the main base, and aLive is just all over the place, and Tefel just can't seem to stabilize right now. As we're going to see some units coming into this main base to try and help him defend. Well, aLive just pulls back, continues to trade, as eventually he will lift up, and then he'll find somewhere else to land, as we actually see these Marines going huge on this base, picking off a whole bunch of drones on the 3rd, the natural taking more worker damage as well. Tefel, well, he's staying just about ahead on supply, but he's down 20-ish workers, and aLive is also just sort of, you know, he's playing against roaches, and he's ahead on supply, or just behind on supply, which is, well, not a good thing for Tefel, who really is kind of just pure roach right now. There's 4 Ravagers left. It's not that many, and his gas count is struggling, considering he's got the man on this man on 3rd base. You see these Marines just staring in, a couple of roaches going down, these Ravagers taking a lot of damage, and well, I think going to keep on trading. These tanks going to be looking to continue dealing some damage as well. Marine's going to pull back. Marauder's going to pull back. And well, Tefel, he does clean out a lot of this, and aLive is going to have to fall back for a few moments here as Tefel, he's going to have like, what, one kind of real big push here to try and make something happen. If he doesn't make something happen with this, he's going to be in trouble, and well, that choke point is something he cannot attack through at all, and so he gets pushed back almost instantly. And we're going to see these roaches and a couple of ravagers just coming in towards the center. Going to clean out these rocks and just kind of push through the middle. And I mean, again, Tefel just looking for ways to do damage right now, but aLive has such a solid kind of foothold to kind of sit in or stand in. I mean, his +2/+2 is about to finish up. He's got plenty of tanks to rely on. His third base is mining happily. His fourth base is on the way up as a planetary. He's got drops to distract Tefel here and there. So again, Tefel, every time he gets ready to move through the middle of the map, just isn't able to. You can see how hard Tefel's been kind of multitasked this game because his creep spread isn't even that great. You know, we saw the creep looking like this kind of 5 minutes ago. That's just how busy Tefel's been. He's just not been able to find himself the time to spread that creep. As you see, these roaches and ravagers going to be coming down the south side. Big drop from aLive up to the top, and this is going to be interesting. This could force a little bit of a base trade because this is going to start happening like just before Tefel gets here. So Tefel shouldn't really pull back. It's one of these timing windows where a couple seconds earlier maybe Tefel would have gone home. But instead, now it's going to turn into complete base trade. So, I mean, never good to base trade a Terran, but maybe it's the one way in which Tefel can win this game if somehow aLive makes one too many mistakes. The units on the top of this ramp, SCVs will be pulled in to try and help out against this. Corrosive Bars coming down, and Medevac's nearly fallen, but the units staying alive, and well, these roaches and ravagers just disappear, and Tefel is losing everything over here, while he's also losing everything back at home. And Tefel is going to tap out of the game. aLive takes game number 2 of this best of 3. So, to the upper right hand side of the map from Dignitas is going to be teal Zerg player is Tefel, and down to the bottom right is going to be our red Terran player from Afrika Freaks. It is aLive. I don't think Stefano won IPL 4, he won IPL 3, right? Or am I getting it wrong? Let me just check. No, IPL 4 was aLive's victory against Squirtle. Maybe it was IPL, maybe IPL 3 is what Stefano won, I think. Yeah, IPL 3 against Lucky in the finals, MMA SEC 1. Looking at these, tournaments is like so like nostalgic, you know. Oh, that's crazy. All these kind of big single elimination brackets and players like Hey Pro and Puma and Right Raw playing and Chef. Oh man. It's actually really crazy. Alright, let's talk a little bit about this game as we jump into this. We're just waiting to see what's going on. It's going to be, looks like it's just going to be very standard to start up once again. Reaper expand against a pool hatch gas again. I mean, this is something Tefel likes to do, just going for the spawning pool first instead of the hatchery first. I was just seeing him set up here on Runes of Serra. So it's going to be vertical spawns, and this is something which Tefel is going to learn about very shortly here. Actually sending his second overlord in this direction. Now aLive did check for an overlord at the start of this game, and so he's kind of thinking probably cross spawns right now. Let's see where the Reaper goes. Well, he's maybe where does the Reaper go? Let's see, because right now it's a bit weird in the sense that okay, he sees the overlord there. Okay, so he knows it's top right. But yeah, it was a bit weird because he didn't see the first overlord in position, and if you don't see the if you don't see kind of the first overlord, then you might assume it's either going to be kind of horizontal or cross spawns. And so he sees it in the end though, and you just get this Reaper on the way in the right direction pretty much straight away. aLive just trading a little bit here with the Queen. Grenade going to go down. I'm just going to back away a little bit. So as we gonna have these couple of links coming in, they're gonna start working their way against this SCV. SCV is gonna fall here pretty quickly, and you know, see, I mean, again, just these couple of links early in the game just being a little bit annoying. Not going to delay the CCs for as much as they did last game, which was actually pretty lengthy, to be honest. It was really lengthy. As we're gonna have the Reaper popping up, and just again maybe heading across this map. Tefel just gonna pop down the third base. And link speed going to be finishing up. Again, nothing really too crazy going on to talk about. aLive just going into a very fast third command center. It's going to be a very passive game for the next few moments here. Tefel did see the third CC, which does mean that he can respond to this sort of very greedy play by the Terran player. He can decide where he wants to go to, but in general, he'll either be very greedy with economy of his own, or he will make sure to try and be aggressive and kind of all in the next few moments, or the next few minutes. He's going to drop the Rotron, but again, I mean, the Rotron isn't timed to be aggressive, so I'd be surprised if he turns this into aggression. We'll probably just look to kind of, for the most part, keep on droning while his opponent goes into free CCs and lots of SCVs and economy. Starport just going to finish up here, and we'll see Stimpack starting as well. Factory moving to start another reactor. It's been a very standard sort of setup here early on from aLive, just that Starport coming in a bit faster than usual. It's kind of like, you know, the olden kind of 3cc build is kind of, this is exactly that, only you have a bit more economy, so your second gas comes down a bit sooner, and so you can afford that Starport, which helps you out a little bit. And just gets you the Viking out a little bit faster than you might usually see it, or maybe you see a Medevac or a Liberator to harass with. So it's kind of nice, as we're going to see actually Tefel maybe elevating some Zerglings up into his opponent's main base. So it's going to be quite exciting as we see these Zerglings run to the main, and aLive going to have to pull Marines over there to start dealing with this. He's dealing with it well so far. Also some Zerglings in towards the natural expansion as well, though. So Tefel, he loses all of them lings. They shouldn't really be fighting. You should just pull away as soon as them Zerglings start to come in. Then again, I guess this Overlord's going to go down to the Viking anyways. As all said and done, really not much damage done at all. Well, actually, he killed 7 SCVs, so not too bad. But I mean, he lost. You know, he gave up more drones than what he gained. You know, than what he gained, I guess. Because he, you know, that was like 12ish. I guess he was like, I guess it's okay actually. As we wait to see what's going to be happening here as a follow. I mean, it's just the same build from Tefel. Single upgrade for now, +1 missiles. His roach speed starts. So pretty much the exact same for Tefel this game as last game. As this Viking will pick off that Overlord before the Queen comes in and stops it. And I'm just going to pull this away. So a couple kills on the Viking already. I'm just going to be pulling back. Runes of Ceres. I actually missed this map, says Corwin. Yeah, so it's the old map pool today. So we don't have any of the new maps. Just the old maps, so be interesting to see how that goes. Be interesting to see just these maps once again, I guess. So, you know, Orbital Shipyard and whatever other maps we have that we haven't seen for a while. I guess Ruins of Saras is one of those. I guess Central Protocol in the map pool as well. And Leverlek Crest are the maps which are in this map pool that you might not have seen for a little while, for a few days, a couple of weeks or something. As we do just get set up and just wait to see what's going to be happening again. It's kind of a very passive game. We're kind of following this Viking around. There's a double drop heading towards the main base of Tefel. And this double drop going to be coming in right now. And, well, there's only a few roaches here to begin with. There is Stimpack finish, so these Marines can stim forwards and look to really get some damage done as he fights against these roaches, this Queen. That Ravager looks as though it's going to finish, which is nice for Tefel. Going to be able to heal that roach up. And obviously get a Ravager in play as well. As he clears this out fairly easily, not really too much of an issue. Viking just sat in the top right hand side, but not really giving very much help to anything right now. As well, aLive is forced back, and he will just have to pull back home for a while. For a few moments. Third CC going to live for aLive and going to move down into position on the low ground. As we're actually going to see a big aggressive push from Tefel. With roach speed finished and +1 done. He's got a lot of army to try and push forwards with right now, and while aLive doesn't expect this at all, he sees it now. But he's like down the, you know, he's at the front with this army, and he's going to start trading straight away. There's only one tank, and that's not going to be enough against this. As Tefel, big push coming on through, and, well, I don't think aLive has enough at all. GG, Tefel takes game 2. We're going to third game. I mean, it was the right decision, right? That's what I was going to say. It was the right decision to go kind of aggressive, because he saw the free CC so early. So he knew it was aggressive. You know, he knew his opponent was playing kind of, you know, economy focused and may not have enough to deal with that, especially after losing 2 Medevacs drops without really doing anything much at all. I mean, obviously he traded with a few roaches, but, you know, when you're massing up units to go for an attack, that's exactly what you want. You want to be fighting smaller clumps of units instead of the kind of entire thing. As we get into game number 3, to the top right hand side is going to be our TvZ player from Dignitas. It is Tefel. It's down to the bottom left is going to be our green Terran player from the Freaky Freaks. See if you're cheering on aLive. Again, game 3 of this best of 3 TvZ. What's up, everyone in the chat? How you all doing? Welcome to the stream. If it's your first time here, or if it's your second or third or whatever time here, and you haven't already, hit that follow button. Do make sure you press that now to keep up to date with whenever we're streaming, which is going to be again every single day for the next week or so at least. We've got Star Masters action Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We've got SC2 Improved Team League Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. We've got DreamHack Austin European qualifiers Saturday and Sunday too, I believe. So lots and lots of action over the next few days. You can catch all of it here on the stream live with me, Wardy. And then we'll have also UK matches on Monday again. And then actually I'm completely unorganized for next week. I've got absolutely nothing written down for anything. I guess it's WCS. So next week it's WCS qualifiers Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we will probably do Team League like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Monday UK matches, and that'll probably fill out the week actually. So I just need to get that organised though, get that set up. We are coming to the end of the Team League as well. We only have a few group stage matches left, then we'll be off into the playoffs, and well, then we'll kind of see what's up and see what is happening, I guess. Be sad when the Team League ends. It'll be kind of weird because we're gonna have to have a bit of a tough job trying to find stuff to stream for regular content when the Team League's over. So it's gonna be a tough one, as we have the Reaper just moving around and just looking to get some damage done. Early on, it's just been a Reaper expand once again out of aLive, pretty much the same as before. No second gas from him just yet, so it is once again going to be that fast 3cc playstyle. So not messing around at all, just going to go straight into that 3rd CC. The economy on the way up for himself. Has that layers over halfway done as well from Tefel. So layers on the way up, a couple of extra gases going down. And everything just getting ready to go. I mean, the layer's very fast actually. I guess that's worth mentioning. No link speed at all, just very fast layer. And so maybe he tries to go into some very fast Mutalisks, very fast Spire. I mean, there's no Roach Run, right? So Nidus play isn't going to be super effective or anything like that. So I imagine just a very fast Spire coming down here, and there it is. So Tefel going to switch things up completely here in our 3rd game by going for the very fast Mutalisks and looking to see what's up and what's going on. Looking to see if he gets some damage done with these early. Now, of course, this is something aLive is going to want to try and figure out. He actually has a couple of Hellions coming across the map, so going to be poking in. When he sees the lack of a 3rd base, well, he'll start to wonder what exactly this is. He sees a Queen here, comes in, sees no 3rd building, and that is good information for him already, and we'll kind of lower down what this could be to basically, well, at this point, if he hasn't already seen some Roaches moving across, it must be some kind of tech-based play, so some Roach-based play, basically. So some Roach-based play probably coming across here in the next few moments. Sorry, not Roach-based play. Some lair-based play coming across here as well, which aLive is probably expecting as he actually comes in and scouts with the Reaper and sees it is a lair. And of course, at this point, if he's not already seeing kind of he's not, you know, if he's not already seeing kind of a Nidus or something, then it's probably just going to be those Mutalisks here very, very soon. Scan comes down from Tefel, from aLive into Tefel's natural expansion. He's going to be able to have a little bit of a see and does spot that Spire finishing up, so he knows that's on its way. And I think this is honestly very good for aLive, because when you open 3cc like this, it really forces the Zerg player to get some damage done. He really looks to kind of, you know, he looks to try and, you know, he's got to get damage done because there's such a strong economy for the Terran player that if he doesn't do damage, he'll find himself in a very tough position when the Terran goes for their first push, because they're just going to have so much from this early economy. Factory is going to swap with that starport as the starport lands on the reactors. First medevacs on the way up shortly as a couple more racks come down. Upgrades started as well for aLive as we see him just adding on the turrets and the minimal lines just to make sure you can deflect against these Mutalisks without too much of an issue. And again, if you can keep these, you know, if he doesn't take much damage, then it's going to be pretty good. There's the first SV, about a 4 build map turret over to the left hand side. And the way the racks are set up, there's no kind of gap between them, so a little bit difficult to move between bases here. Because I think that was 2 SCVs killed. No, just the 1 actually still. So there's 1 SCV killed, really not a lot so far. And Tefel, well, he hasn't made too many more Mutalisks. He's gone into +1 melee. He's starting up a few more drones. He does find himself a couple of Hellions, and okay, he's established himself map control. What he needs to make sure of now is that he just kind of keeps the Terran pinned back while he kind of sets himself up, while he gets his upgrades into the game, and so on and so on. And again, still is going to be a very good economy for our Terran player, who lifts that third CC and starts to move it into position. 1-1, combat shield's going to finish up shortly. When all of those upgrades kick in, we might see a very big timing out of our Terran player, either with a couple of sets of drops, or just with kind of one big push up the middle of the map with 4 medevacs worth of units. So we're going to see the meters coming in, going to get a couple of SCVs, and again a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, but loses one of the Mutalisks, and that's the last thing that you want to happen. As we just wait to jump on into the next stage of this game, which is where both players now have their third bases established, and we're going to be looking to see the fourth base coming up from Tefel, and just kind of the real macro starting to come in from both players, the real kind of macro game decisions, you know, engagements and stuff like that. How do these players engage? How well does each player harass? How does each player shut down the harassment of the other? As Ling speed is on the way up, centrifugal hooks, Bane speed. The infestation be on the way down, so he's not going to waste too much time on Ling Bane meter. He's making quite a few meters. He's making, what, 4 plus 8, 12 meters in total. It's not loads, but it's a healthy number to help with drops. It's a healthy number to fly around with. He'll go into the hive now, and he'll go for kind of what will be very fast Ultralisks, I feel, considering the fact that this was 2-base Mutalisk play. And so I'm a little bit afraid for Tefel that he's maybe being a little bit greedy right now, going into this hive so quickly off of Mutaling Bane. When you go Mutaling Bane, you generally have to stay on it a little while longer before you go into Ultras, just because you're investing into units, and if you try and go into Ultras while investing into this composition, it can be very, very tough to have enough units to deal with a push like this. And we look at this right now, well, he's got a lot of Banelings coming in, but he's having his creep spread cleared, and now is not the kind of scare factor. The scare factor is going to be in kind of a minute or two when aLive pushes once again, just before them Ultras come out. And that's when Tefel might really find himself in trouble. He's going to be engaged into right now. No Bane speed, but it's just finishing up. There's a few Marines over to the left-hand side. There's aLive going to start stimming and starting to split as well. Starting to spread out those Marines. Starting to minimize the damage from them Banelings. As we see them all rolling in though, and Tefel will clean up. And maybe just a little bit of another extension at the very end of this here from aLive. Maybe could have turned around and tried to get back home a little bit sooner. There's more Marines on the way out. Widow Mines coming out now as well. I mean, this was the problem, you know, it was only kind of Marines and medevacs there. There wasn't any Widow Mines at all. As you see them Marines coming forwards once more. And these Lings Banes just kind of holding back towards the center of the map now, as a few of these Zerglings going to be just coming down and just reinforcing and streaming out from Tefel after that last engagement. The Ultra Cavern on the way, and well, Tefel, after winning a fight like the last one, will be able to probably get into his Ultras somewhat safely here, so his kind of greed has definitely paid off, although there's still going to be a little bit of a pre-Ultra timing. 2-2 is going to finish shortly, and well, if aLive pushes with it, maybe we could get something done, but how do you push when you've got so many, so few Marines ready to go? And there's one drop up to the top side, of course, which is where a few of those are, but there's really just not very much here kind of towards his own base, which he would use to kind of push across the map, so that could make things very interesting, as we do see Tefel coming in with them meters. Liberators will come in and kite him backwards to make sure they don't get taken down immediately. Some good shots on their meters, which are again very low. As we're going to see the medevacs boosting back to help defend this. The medevac to the top side of the map is also going to start coming in, starting to unload. Tefel already moving Ling Bane into position to deal with this, and medevac just taking so much damage already. Isn't going to get anything done with this at all. He boosts away into the natural expansion. Tefel targets that medevac down. 4 Marines get out, but they're not going to achieve very much at all here. He targets, what, 1 or 2 drones? Really not worthwhile for an entire dropship of units, so not worth so far. As we see 6 Ultras on the way up. No Kindness Plating just yet. The sooner he gets that Kindness Plating, the sooner them Ultras become almost untouchable by anything on the ground. As we're going to see, I think aLive here really more so than anything is just looking to clean up some creep and pull away. I don't think he really wants to try and take a fight. He's trying to scout forwards a little bit as he lifts, he leaves, and he's just going to be pulling back home, where he's got some more Liberators on the way up, which will help a lot with kind of dealing with Ultralisks here in the early stages of the game. As he deals with these Ultras early on, you know, he'll begin to sort of stabilize into the late game with kind of Lib Ghost, and that Liberator Ghost composition can be very powerful for a Terran player. In fact, I think a lot of Zerg players would probably, well, I think a lot of people would probably agree that Liberator Ghost executed correctly is very, very, very difficult to beat as a Zerg, because whatever you make, the Terran has such a great counter for. You make Corruptors, well, they've got Liberators and Snipes to kind of assist them. You make Ultralisks, and they just die to Snipes, right? I mean, it's all about getting the right engagement for the Zerg with kind of the right fungal growths, and, you know, hitting them fungals on the ghosts if they're clumped up or so. And we're going to see the Mutants just pulling over to the left-hand side. Liberators chasing them currently. That does make this kind of an interesting question as to how far can aLive really push onto the map. If his Liberators are all the way over here, I mean, can he really push onto the map anyways against this many Ultralisks? I'm not too sure. Kindness Plating over halfway done. aLive has to be cautious. Needs to make sure he doesn't overcommit to something he doesn't want to, or can't find himself, you know, a way out of. As, oh my god, we're going to see him being engaged into, and oh no, he's so off guard. The Bangs crash on in. Getting so much damage done here immediately. Then Widowmine's trying to escape. The Liberators are on the way to kind of set up some siege zones, and well, just at the last moments here, we'll see these Liberators coming in. Kindness playing about to finish, and well, it might be too late for these Liberators actually, because a lot of these others have already made it through. As we're going to see the Mutas coming in, they're cleaning up a lot of the Liberators as well, and Tefel takes a great fight here as he continues to move up this ramp, and it looks for aLive. He's going to be taking a quick exit from the GO4SC2 monthly finals, as these Mutas clean up a couple of Liberators. Everything just starting to go down here. And aLive is, well, going to be down and out, unfortunately, here against Tefel. Doesn't have very much left at all, and that should be GG. Tefel going to take game number 3 and move into the round of 8 of the monthly finals here today. And as the Ultra is still just controlling this base, just waiting for his last few units to go down. GG, and Tefel takes the third game.